I'm very pleased to have a very interesting guest here today on the show. I have Ken Balog here from CloudConnect. And let me tell you guys a little bit about Ken. He heads up sales and marketing at CloudConnect, and he's a seasoned entrepreneur, having started or even co-started several companies in telecommunications and internet space, managing their growth from startup to more than $100 million. So it's very interesting to have him on the show today because he has also advised and negotiated successful exits for several companies, including his own. So a lot of experience to draw from. Despite that, he's also been, had his experience with major companies, IBM, Watson Research Lab, and has negotiated strategic partnerships with the likes of Microsoft, Warner Brothers, and even Disney. So I'm very pleased to have Ken on the show. Welcome.
Thanks, Lucas.
Very good. So maybe tell us about CloudConnect a little bit in your own words. What is it all about?
Sure. We're a Salesforce consulting partner, but we're kind of what I call a unique Salesforce consulting partner is that we tend to focus on the back end of Salesforce. So a lot of custom development, integration of tech stacks into client Salesforce instance, Salesforce DevOps. So helping companies set up their DevOps practices, and then DX migration. So helping clients migrate their code base, their Salesforce code base, from the traditional Salesforce code base into what now Salesforce calls DX. And those are really the areas that we focus. So we're a lot of behind the scenes with companies, and a little different than most Salesforce consulting companies that focus on the front end or the admin side of Salesforce.
Yep. Makes a lot of sense. If you could sort of characterize the company a little bit for us, so maybe you can tell us something interesting, maybe the amount of clients you're working with, or the amount of people coming to your website, or some rewards or prizes you've won, maybe something that gives us an idea about the company.
Yeah, our clients, for the most part, our clients are Fortune 2000 companies. So some of our clients include Capital One, CarMax, Unos, ISC Squared, which is a large nonprofit in the cybersecurity arena, Berkshire, TouchPlan, DirectMed. We work ChemTreat. We work across numerous industries in numerous clouds within the Salesforce arena, if you will. So our clients are really big companies that we're helping them integrate their Salesforce, improve their Salesforce, and maximize their Salesforce investment.
Very good. What would you say, since you mentioned that those are very big companies, what would you say is the top client acquisition channel at the moment for CloudConnect? Like, how do you sort of, how do those big companies find you and get started?
Yeah, the majority of our clients come to us via referrals, and that referral can be directly from a current client or via other tech consulting companies that don't have a Salesforce arm that bring us in to help them whenever they need Salesforce support. So by far the majority of our clients are referrals, and which is always a great way. That means current clients are liking the work we do with them, as well as our current partners, other consulting companies. So it's by far the biggest way we get our client base.
That's usually the best way, right? If people are happy with the services.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. Since you didn't mention now the website, what role does the website play in client acquisition?
Yeah, the website for us is the ability to provide information that hopefully triggers prospects to understand what we do and to want to get a little bit more information about us. So whether that's completing a form on the website, understanding what we do via our case studies and or blogs, and really researching kind of the background on us and how we operate. That's really the role of our website plays. And we do get some leads through our website, but again, the majority of our leads come through referrals, whether that's other partners, clients, and actually Salesforce account executives referring a lot of their clients to us as well.
So I see really that referral plays the major part. Maybe just one or two quick follow-ups on the website before we sort of changing gears a little bit. Maybe could you
Sure.
tell me what would you think is the major strength of the website? Like, is it the ability to convert somebody when they arrive, or is it sort of the quality of leads that it can produce for the business? Is it maybe just the experience that you can provide? Like, where do you see a strength of your website?
Yeah, right now the biggest strength on our website, and we kind of redid the website about 6 months ago. It wasn't a full redo. We just changed up the way it looked and felt. The major strength of the website is the ability to provide information to the prospect that's on the site to fully understand what we do and how we do it.
Okay, and on the flip side, what would you say, where's room for improvement? Is it then sort of, the conversions? Is it the quality? Where do you see maybe a bit of room for improvement?
Well, I think there's always room for improvement in any website, marketing material, etc., that you have. So the ability to improve the process of moving prospects through and understanding where they are in the buying cycle and what type of information they're looking for is extremely important.
I see. Very interesting. And is there something that your team has already been doing in order to figure that out, that where they are in the buying circle? Is that something that you've already been looking at?
And we haven't spent a lot of time on that. We've been so busy with clients. As you and your listeners may know, Salesforce is growing at 20+% a year, and the demand for quality Salesforce talent far outstrips the availability. So many companies turn to companies like ours to help them augment their staff and to provide the expert resources needed on the Salesforce development side. So we really haven't been able to give the website probably as much attention as it needs at this point.
Gotcha. Coming back to your services, right? For everybody who's listening in, what would you say is a sort of a competitive advantage if they try to sort of position your team and your company?
Yeah, the biggest competitive advantage is that number one, we listen and we fully, before we dive into anything, we want to understand what your current state looks like, where you want to get to, and then work together with you to develop those steps needed to get to that future state. And in so doing, we really work to train your staff, whether we're staff augmentation, doing a project, whatever we're doing. We want to work with your team to make sure that we're passing knowledge along so that in the future they have the knowledge, and if they have the time, then they can do future work. You don't necessarily have to call us back or another consultant back to come in and help you.
Gotcha. Okay. And if we would be looking behind the curtain of CloudConnect a little bit, how would the sales and the marketing team be structured?
Well, it's a very small team. We have 4 people involved in the sales and marketing side. So it's a very small team. We're a small company. We're under 20 employees. We're almost 3 years old and growing. And as I said, when you look at some of our clients and the big Fortune 50 clients that put a lot of trust in us and in our work, our focus has mainly been on supporting our current clients, growing that client base, and growing even our current client, our breadth within the current client base.
Very interesting. Maybe last question on the sort of sales and marketing setup, given the sort of the size of the team that you described. How would a lead currently be handled, right? So if somebody maybe is signing up through the website or is referred, like how would a lead travel through marketing to sales?
Yeah, so currently, if you land on one of our pages and fill out one of the forms on our site, for instance, that you're interested, then that's going to get routed into me, who's going to then assign that to most likely our SDR, our sales development representative. And then she is going to reach out for the initial discussion and to better understand exactly what you're looking for and what your needs are. After that, then typically we're going to have a call with you and one of our developers, and so that we can better qualify and better understand the needs that you have. Once we have that understanding, we also have a questionnaire that we like to have filled out so that we can understand exactly what your current state looks like. And once we have all of that, then we can work to develop a plan to get you from that current state to future state. So we'll develop that plan, we'll present that plan, and hopefully we'll begin to work together.
Gotcha. Very interesting. Let's switch gears one more time and talk about you as a leader in the company. What type of content do you consume? How do you educate yourself in order to, sort of grow every day?
Yeah, I read quite a bit, especially different materials. So there are a number of sites that I turn to read. I'm a newspaper junkie, so I like to read newspapers, the actual print newspaper. I don't get them all print, but I do read some online. But I also read things like the Harvard Business Review, several articles, several people that I follow on Medium and other ways. I read quite a few books as well. So I'm constantly trying to stay atop of where things are going and where some of these thought leaders think things are going, to make sure we're never behind the 8 ball.
And what would be a topic that you've recently researched?
So most recently, earlier today, it was actually, given the state or the time we're in right now, in the election coming up, and there was a great article in the Harvard Business Review about capitalism, and I really found it fascinating article. So
interesting.
That to me, and it had more to do so with inclusive capitalism. And so if you know anything about Salesforce and the way that company operates, and those of us that are in the Salesforce arena, there's a big emphasis on inclusiveness and on supporting local communities and providing your employees time off to support nonprofits they believe in, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of where we are.
Very good. I would love to jump into our rapid fire questions, right? There's only a couple of short, crisp questions, only
Sure.
usually it's a 1 sentence, 1 word answer. Okay, so what's the last book you read?
My favorite book, I go back years and years and years ago, when I was a youngster, and I read Lee Iacocca's autobiography. And there's still things in that book that I just love. And for instance, one of his lines was that he told his management staff, if you cannot learn to take vacations and take that time off to decompress and come back re-energized, then you're in the wrong job, you're in the wrong profession. Everybody needs time off, and I fully believe that.
Yeah. What was the name of the author again, just for everybody who wants to look it up?
Oh, Lee Iacocca.
Okay, very good. Cool. What's the one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
It's growing our existing client base.
if there would be no boundaries in technology, what would be one thing that you want to have fixed for your company today?
Oh, the ability to capitalize on the use of AI even more than we're doing now.
Mm-hmm. What's the last thing that kept you awake at night about the company?
Oh, nothing really keeps me awake at night
Nice.
about the company.
That's a very good answer.
You know, it really doesn't. Our ability to attract top talent is the biggest challenge in our industry.
Gotcha.
And I'll say that typically out of 100 developers that we interview, only 3 might make it through to us presenting them to a client.
I see. And the very last question is, if today would be your first day, your very first day working on CloudConnect, what would be one advice that you would give yourself?
To narrow down the focus of the company, that took us a little over a year to do that. You know, as an early company, as a startup, you tend to chase whatever revenue opportunity presents itself, and you do that to survive. I understand it, but as we've grown, we've really took to focusing the company on our core strengths, and that's the Salesforce integration, tech stack integrations, custom Salesforce development, Salesforce DevOps, and DX migration. It's really where, you know, since we focused on that, our growth has continued to expand, and we continue to bring on new clients in that area.
Ken, I want to give you the last word of the interview. I really appreciate that you've been part of the show. If somebody would forget everything about the interview today, what would be one thing that they should remember about CloudConnect?
It's the quality of service that you get. It's why clients bring us back in time and time again, and or have kept us on for several years, as well as it's why we get called in to fix what some other consultants have done in several companies.
Thanks a lot for being part of the show.
Thank you, Lucas. Really appreciate it. Have a great day.